Wigan 0, Manchester United 2. Job done for the Reds tonight and Eric Ten Hag in the FA Cup. The round was pretty much put to bed in the first half. As soon as United scored, Wigan didn't offer much. We knew it was going to be that way through the game. I think the biggest disappointment and why it feels so drab after a win finally for United is the performance again. I've got Jay here with me to break down everything that happened in that game. There isn't much to talk about, Jay, but we have to dissect it, try and be a bit encouraging, because when you break it, we have actually got the win, mate. We have got the win. That's the most important thing, is it not?
I think the cliche is a win that won't live long in the memory, Adam.
Yeah.
I'd love to be here tonight with you discussing a swashbuckling performance away to Wigan in the FA Cup. A couple of years ago, I was at Old Trafford when Mourinho finally played Schweinsteiger, and we beat them in the third round. That was the last time I remember playing Wigan in the FA Cup, and it was a decent game, decent performance tonight. It was turgid, to say the least. First 5 minutes, I don't know your read of it, but I thought Rashford jumped over tackle, which led to Wigan getting clean through, and had that Wigan player lifted the ball over Nana, it's 1-0. Different conversation. So It's probably a bit harsh to say we got away with one tonight. At 1-0, we almost need a second goal to kill that game off. And for me, soft penalty, got the win, 2-0. Bruno gets his pen, but that does paper over the cracks of yet another listless performance by Bruno. So we can, how much do you want to dissect tonight, Adam? We can go through players like we've done every single watch along, or we can just say, right, 2-0, fourth round, move on. What's to dissect?
Yeah, that is the thing, mate. Ultimately, this is sort of, I said it in the watch along, when me and you will be discussing this game, we won't really be getting into detail about the game itself. It will be more of an outlook as to what's to come for Manchester United. Now, I said when the draw was made before the game, Jay, it's an opportunity for Ten Hag and another moment which gives him zero excuses going forward now. In fact, even with the FA Cup, it's one game a week, so plenty of time to get on the training ground and work on things. But even with this game now, I can see him resting a few more players again against Eastleigh or Newport, whoever comes through that. No disrespect to them two teams, but United should be walking through that game with rested players again. I think the pressure with the way the draw's gone has heaped even more onto Ten Hag with this one. I think all we're doing is, like you said, Den, the game's done. We got the win. We're in the next round, Jay. We look ahead. Looking ahead now, I think it's the outlook of the season, and I think we'll see a bigger test of Manchester United's character when we come up against Spurs at weekend, Jay.
Yeah, Spurs proper test, even without Son, like Richarlison.
I think I lost you for a minute there. I think you just went out, Jay. Sorry.
It's well organised side in Spurs.
Yeah, I think your signal just went completely out there, mate. We missed most of that. I think I have lost Jay for a moment there, guys. I'm just getting through some of your comments. Let me know if you can hear Jay. I can't hear him. Oh, he has gone. There he goes. Jay has left the room, everybody. I think he's come back again. No idea. But, Jay, can you hear me okay now? No. I think Jay has given up on United, and ultimately, I think that game pretty much summed everyone's mood up, including Jay's. I'm just going to double check if we can bring Jay back in. Let me just have a quick nosy on. Jay, I don't know why you can't hear me, mate. Something has gone wrong on your end. I think we just need to get Jay back in again. I don't know what's happened there, but yeah, I think I can just take it on from this point in terms of what that game was. And you heard me in the watch along. If you weren't watching in the watch along, guys, I think you just got to look at that game as one out the way, into the next round, a job done. But the problem you've got with this now, it creates more questions rather than answers. A performance like that, United should have just been putting Wigan to the sword and just finishing them, putting them to bed early doors, resting and bringing players on. We shouldn't be bringing on youth team players for the last couple of minutes in injury time just to get them another appearance on the stat counter. That's all that was. It was pretty embarrassing in the end how we were putting on younger players at the end. And yeah, I think Ten Hag is going to come in for more critique again. I think this is where he's at right now as a Manchester United manager. Until we start getting a bit of rhythm, then he is going to keep getting these questions, and the awkward questions will keep coming Ten Hag's way. I feel like right now, Jay, I think you're back in the room. Can you hear me okay, mate?
Yeah, perfectly.
There we go. Jay's back. You were just talking about, I was just talking about, sorry, Jay, about how questions are going to be asked on Ten Hag again. At the end of the day, it's created more questions than answers, that game, and that's the problem with games like that. We got through, we can take the win, and everything is good from there, but Ten Hag, again, is struggling there for me tonight. There was no rhythm to the play. We looked a bit lacklustre in the second half. Mistakes kept creeping in, and that one chance for Wigan could have changed that game and the whole outlook. But the disappointing thing, I think, for United mainly tonight, Jay, is the fact that we can't score again, and we're just, even when we create chances, we don't look like we've got the confidence to put them away. Rasmus Højlund could have had a hat-trick tonight.
Okay, let's break it down. First of all, take Højlund. I think he had more chances tonight in 45 minutes than he's had all season.
He has.
And he has Garnacho. He is reading the runs of Garnacho. He's getting in positions. The header, yeah, I think it looked like it hit top of his head. Should score that. The other one looked like it hit his shin. So I'm not going to go too hard on Højlund. He's just not used to getting as many chances in the game. You remember when we had Andy Cole back in the day, when we signed him from Newcastle back in the 90s? He was like a third rate at Newcastle. I took him like 10 games to click. Once he clicked with Dwight York, there's no stopping him. So it goes back to the point we almost say about Højlund. He needs to play under an experienced striker. And until he's got that other striker to play off and work with the training ground, I don't think we're going to see the best of Højlund for me. Secondly, I want to pick out is our set pieces, Adam, are atrocious. Like you coach football, I coach football. We watch a lot of football over the years. Between us, we're probably watching football, 60 years between us? Easily. That's a lot of years watching football. I've never seen a professional team take a corner kick with their winger 6 yards off the corner kick taker standing on the byline. What's that about? We did it 3 times tonight.
Yeah,
that makes no sense to me.
No, I'm totally with you, Jay, on that one. That was baffling. It's like we've just lost a player there. He stood there doing nothing. Yeah, the second time it came around, he played it to him, but I just don't see the point in it. It's just, I think if anything, it makes Rashford look stupid as well, Jay.
But that's something they've done in the training ground.
Yeah.
And you and I discussed on a previous show, okay, he's got 1 game a week, a chance to work with players on a training ground. He knew coming into this game, his analysts are going to tell him, Wigan are at home, they're limited enough side, they've had a point deduction, they're going to go into survival mode. They're going to sit back, they're going to sit deep, banks of 4, invite us on, hope for counter-attack. That's exactly what they did. When you see Johnny Evans pretty much playing the majority of the first half at the halfway line, that tells you Wigan's tactics straight away. And Ten Hag could not nullify that. So you said previously, before I got cut off, questions answered at the press conference. You've been at press conferences, Adam, will those journalists tonight ask Ten Hag the difficult questions on his tactics and inability to break down Wigan?
They may well do. I think the majority of the questions will be leading down the line of, is anyone going to be fit and available for the game against Spurs? Obviously, bigger test to come, like we were talking about a minute ago. But tactics questions always come into it. It will be on the line of, are you concerned that you are still not scoring goals? Is the goal output a concern for you, Eric? It'll be questions like that. And you know what? Them questions, they're needed. They really are. And he will come up with the chances that we created and we're just missing them. But again, he's got a 60, 70 million pound striker still. Domestic goal-wise has got 1. That's it. He's been clinging on to him, scoring goals in the Champions League, and that's all he's said about Højlund so far. And like you said, it's not... I mean, today I do put fault down on Højlund for not putting the ball in the back of the net because they were easy chances. The header especially, he's got to do better with that one. But I think that will be the lining of questions. Said in the chat there, boring again. It's a hard watch. 7,000 Manchester United fans there, Jay. Just wishing the final whistle so they could get out and get warm. It's just not
Like you were in
encouraging.
Wigan this morning, Adam. How long is it to drive from Wigan, Manchester, round trip, on a cold January night?
Wigan to Manchester isn't that far, to be honest. You're probably talking about an hour and a half round trip to most parts of Manchester.
Okay, so there's lads getting home tonight at 12 o'clock, work in the morning, supporting their club, 7,000 people, and those players putting that performance. Yep. That speaks volumes.
That's it. That's what we're getting. There's worse scenarios than this for these fans, mate. I mean, you only have to look at the West Ham, like travelling Christmas weekend to that. It happens continuously, week in, week out with this team now, and they had an opportunity there today. Rashford should have been right on it from the get-go. He seemed to have, again, like that standoffish sort of approach to the game where it just didn't look like he wanted to take that risk. He was too scared to do that, something a little bit different for a change. And you know what? I don't see him finding that confidence in the games we've got coming up. Spurs and Wolves are going to be incredibly tough for us, Jay.
Yeah, for me, it looked like he was either too scared to take on the fullback, or was he told by Ten Hag, don't take him on and play 1-2 passes with the low when those passes so far forward? Or is he scared to take him on knowing he takes him on, the low so far forward, I lose the ball as I almost lose it, and we're exposed down the flank? So it depends what way you want to look at it. Personally, I got my winger 101, beat the fullback, put cross in the box. He doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So it depends how you want to analyze the performance.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it looked like we were in trouble down our left-hand side with Wigan early doors, and if that chance goes in, I think Rashford is probably getting stick. I think Rashford is definitely getting the brunt of the criticism for that. I mean, where was Dalot? I don't know. This inverted winger slash fullback going forward, it's a bad idea, I think, alongside Marcus Rashford, who isn't going to track back. There was a couple of times where Rashford's defending had to be brought in to question as well, and that could have gone completely wrong, and they are Ten Hag tactics. Against Spurs, that is a worry. How does he approach it against Spurs? Because he can't play like that. It doesn't work, Jay, with Marcus Rashford and Dalot on that side playing that way. I think he has to change it up. I think it has to be different personnel for me, Jay. I wouldn't go with that same team.
But okay, so he can't play off from the back because the players play off from the back. He can't use inverted wingers because Rashford does not offer enough defensive protection for his full back. So then against Spurs, then he's in a bit of a conundrum, is he not? He's in a fierce conundrum against Spurs.
He is. I mean, I don't know which way he does it. I don't know which way he approaches the Spurs game. He's going to have something's got to be there for him. I feel he's going to have to change it up a little bit. Whether or not he brings in the big guns straight away. I mean, there's a question, Jay. I mean, looking at that there today, McTominay, again, not a great performance again for him. Are you bringing Casemiro and Martinez straight back into that team, even though they've not played for so long, and it's a big game? Is that where we're at with it now for you?
That's a great question, Adam. Like last season, like there was times that you had Varane, Martinez, and Casemiro, and it was like the Bermuda Triangle. Forwards just got lost in there, week in, week out. But can you bring them back against Spurs? I don't know if you can, and also I don't think Ten Hag has the balls to bring him back so fast. Like you or I don't know what's happening on the training ground with Casemiro and Martinez. I'd like to see them back, but get them back for Spurs game. One of them gets finagled over 6 weeks. So I think if anything, Adam, he's going to ease them back in, and then that leaves him then with McTominay and Menu, as you saw tonight, back in midfield partnership. And I watched McTominay close tonight because I wanted to see how long it would be before he touched the ball. 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, we can say, okay, well, we're going to sit him back 2 banks of 4. He's not going to get in the ball. But Jesus, at least make us available for the ball. The couple of times I watched him and he just runs to where the ball isn't. Whereas where he should be running is in between the channels, or literally sitting 5 yards off Manu, playing simple passes. He doesn't do it. So those two flagging Spurs, I fear for us. And it's no reflection on Manu. I said to you in previous shows, you know, Manu needs a player beside him to learn from, which is Casemiro. But to your point, can Casemiro start? Ideally, yes, but I don't think Ten Hag can do it to risk an under injury.
This is it. I mean, the season is in the balance right now. I feel like we could easily lose the 2 games against Spurs and Wolves as easy as we could win them. I feel like winning them is having the right players in place, but we are going to have to bed Casemiro and Martinez back into this team. And you see, it's scary, Jay, because the players that are coming back are players that offer us something in midfield and defence, so we can be a little bit more solid. The issue tonight wasn't defence and midfield as such. Yeah, the midfield, it wasn't fantastic. Bruno again was a mile off it for me, but scoring goals, Jay, there's no contribution coming at all. You're looking at Rashford, he's probably going to play. You're looking at Højlund, he looks absolutely flat in confidence in front of goal. And then you've got a young lad in Garnacho who's still a teenager, holding everything up and giving us our only bits of hope in in any game right now. Nothing's going to change going forward, Jay. So if we can see the goal, we're back to where we was. We're struggling again. That is my major concern. It is my major concern. And I was looking forward to seeing Ahmad tonight. Apparently he's out with, I think he was ill with Ericsson. Anthony's got a knock. What can be changed in the forward line? Because if strikers are not scoring, Jay, then it doesn't matter whatever else we do in the team, wherever we change it in midfield or defence right now.
Okay, we saw Ahmed come on recently for Anthony, that I know you or I have no real love for. He did more than 10 minutes than he's done all season, but he's out with a knock. So we saw Palestri come on tonight for Garnacho when I felt he should have come off for Rashford.
Yeah.
So is Ten Hag just playing Rashford minute after minute after minute, hope against hope he'll nick one? Hoping.
He kept him on the pitch to hold that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the whole match. So as we all know, we've said it so many times, what's the difference in insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So a manager with a pair of balls on Saturday, I would drop Rashford. I start Palestri. Same message to Rashford.
Yeah.
I start Palestri. We said Palestri, he would beat his fullback, and he would provide Højlund with chances. And then it goes back to what we saw tonight. Højlund lacking confidence. Would he put him away? So we were in a conundrum here, massive conundrum.
Yeah, this is it. You can tell Manchester United's goals over the last 2 seasons have been through Bruno, have been through Rashford, both completely out of form, and it's showing on the pitch. It's showing right now in our goal output, it really is. We don't score enough goals. Luton have scored more goals than us this season. That tells you everything you need to know. Our XG is absolutely shocking, -5. Unless the defence play well, and we have that moment up front, Manchester United's game plan is out the window, Jay. And Bruno right now, he's causing more harm than good, I would say. Bruno Fernandes, he's searching, and his decision making is appalling for a captain right now. He's not going to drop him. I mean, what would your midfield be? What is your ideal midfield now we've got everyone coming back, Jay? Because I'm struggling to find a combination that I'm confident is going to work.
Okay, if Casemiro were starting the weekend, sure tonight he plays the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, surely, to give him a run out, see how he responds, and see tomorrow how he's feeling the day after. You get 8 minutes tonight. In an ideal world, I want to see Manu beside Casemiro. Ultimately, we're going to see it maybe in 2 weeks' time, but we won't see it on Saturday. So Manu, I would put beside Casemiro, and I drop Bruno, and I would play Ericsson instead of him if Ericsson is fit, because at least Ericsson, he's disciplined. He's not a gentleman anymore that has the engine to run his legs off for 90 minutes. It's not his game anymore. Obviously, he's minded himself based on what happened to him a couple of years ago. That's fine. At least Ericsson, playing as a 10, will be disciplined. He's a much better passer of the ball than Bruno. His game management is far superior. And he goes about his business without moaning, groaning at referees and without moaning, groaning at his own teammates. So at Fit Ericsson, I would start with Bruno. A lot of people in the fan base now and the chat are probably thinking, Jay's lost his mind. But at least for discipline, that would be my triangle.
It's a tough one because I just don't like the fact that Casemiro, who looked off it before he got injured, he's coming back having been out for so long in a game which is going to be high paced, high intensity. We know what Spurs play like. It's 100 mile an hour. I'm scared it's going to pass him by, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know how we give Casemiro that time to come. I think we're playing a risky game if we're bringing Casemiro in against Spurs, but we need him back in. We're in a really, really tough situation right now because there's no guarantee that Casemiro, let's be honest, who was playing crap when he was fit, is going to be the saviour of this team. Ten Hag is clinging on to the hope that Martinez and Casemiro coming back are going to be the saviours and everything is going to turn around. I just don't see it, Jay. I really don't. Super chat in from Shane. Cheers for this, Shane, sorry. Adam, met you many times outside Old Trafford. Seriously wish you all a success. Jay, top dog too. Eric Ten Hag, days are done. Doesn't matter what happens in the future. Slante. Cheers for that, Shane. Really appreciate the super chat. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you outside Old Trafford again, mate. But where does the book stop, Jay, really, with the team's performance? Is it Ten Hag's tactics or is it the form of the big players? Because I don't think Ten Hag's tactics work if the likes of Bruno and Rashford are off. I don't know how he fixes it, Jay. And sometimes I know what we're saying with Ten Hag's tactics, but I keep looking at the way Rashford walks around the pitch. I look at Bruno's petulance, like you said, and his poor decision making. I'm thinking, there is the core and the experience of this team playing crap. And tonight, for me, if it weren't for Mainu and Garnacho, I'm absolutely deflated that there's no hope going forward. I don't know who comes in. I don't know how it works, Jay. I've never been this stuck with the United side of how we can change things around. And we've got players coming back as well. I mean, does Mason Mount deserve a shout and the time in this team, Jay?
Okay, on Mount, first of all, Ten Hag shouldn't have signed Mason Mount. I think that was a fallacy on his behalf. To give 50 million. Now, I know the price tag, Ten Hag is not negotiating a deal. 50 million for a Chelsea player, 1 year left in his contract. Chelsea bite your hand off. That's poor business decision making.
Yeah.
But Ten Hag identified Mount. He wanted Mount. He got Mount. Ten Hag has spent 400 million in 2 seasons. He has been backed in transfer markets. He's bought badly. That's one issue. That's one issue. That's transfers. Tactics. We've said. You said. I think everyone in the live chat has said. These players cannot play Ten Hag tactics. We bought a goalkeeper player from the back, which we don't do. And now we have. He's been referred to as a talisman, Bruno, our captain. He's not a captain. Then starred by Rashford. He turns it on if and when he wants to turn it on, aka when he's playing for a new mega million-year contract. He's come back. What's he done? Then on Casemiro, signed at 31, 3-year contracts on mega money. Season 1, fantastic. One of the best CDMs still in world football. Mm-hmm. Then, for me, 2 things happened. He's sending us off. He changed his game. I thought the edgy tackles that he was putting in when he came back after suspensions, he stopped doing. He's had a couple of injuries since then. And for me, and I'm not being fattest, but I thought when he came back in August, for me, he looked overweight. Overweight. Now, Casemiro, he was never like your rip shredded Ronaldo type player, but he looked a few kilos overweight. And you're playing the engine room of a team, and you're carrying a couple of kilos extra, it gets you. And he's been injured now. How many times a season, Adam? 2-3 times?
Yeah.
So Casemiro knows he's gone this summer. He knows that. So is Casemiro going to come back, put it about, knowing I'm gone this summer, I got one more big pay deal. Is he going to put it about? I don't think he is.
No, this is it. He's scared now, I think, isn't he? Like you said it there is once bitten, twice shy scenario in there with how hard he will go into a tackle. It is a major concern. Guys, please give the video a like. Let's get it up to 100 likes, please, before we finish. I know it's been a tough watch. I know it's been hard work. This is United at the moment. We're clinging on to whatever positive we literally can right now. A lot of the chat going in with Bruno. He's being played out of position to subsidise Scott McTominay, players like that. Is Bruno the whipping boy when it comes to just trying to makeshift in all sorts of positions? We've seen him play all over the park. Jay, do you feel like that is an excuse, a viable excuse for Bruno's form? How the midfield's been so disjointed, he's playing every single role, and as a captain, he's probably overcooking it.
I said in another show, I think the armband weighs too heavy on him. I don't think he's coping psychologically very well with that armband. I never agree with him being played out on the right to accommodate Eriksen, play more central. But tonight, he was playing the 10. Tonight, he played the 10 against Nottingham Forest. He was ineffectual. So I appreciate everyone in the chat making their comments. But in my view, Bruno right now, he's been playing pretty much in the 10 for the last couple of games. He hasn't done it.
Nah. This is it. Ten Hag has got he's got a lot to sort out. He really has. The other major concern is how everyone is ill all the time. The bug going around Carrington is really affecting this team. It's like today we had another 3 forwards missing. All of a sudden, it's like you'd have thought no excuse, plenty of game time, less game time, plenty of time on the training ground. This should be the perfect preparation and perfect opportunity for Ten Hag right now. But every single game comes around, someone else is missing. It's an absolute catastrophe for Ten Hag. For United, for the fans, for the players. No one can get ahead of steam. No one can start building any form. It just seems like one of the most disrupted seasons ever, Jay. And I don't know if we're going to get any momentum or get the chance to even build any momentum.
Yeah, we haven't had momentum, I think, since March of last year.
Yeah,
agreed. I would pinpoint after we won the Carabao Cup, I think we went off the boil.
We did.
And we stuttered and stammered into 3rd place. I know the fans made a huge big deal. Oh, we got top 4, we got top 4. But had the season been another month, I think we'd finished 5th or 6th. So you say about momentum. I haven't seen momentum. We're now like first week in January. I haven't seen momentum, mate, in 10 months.
Yeah, it's hard to see where it's coming from. That's the major concern. It really is. I mean, I'm happy with the defensive work at the moment. I feel the midfield has let the defence down a little bit. There's not much protection there, especially on the break. I think the best partnership we've had for a while has been Varane and Evans. I'm liking them two. They keep their spot. And I think the others have to work their way back in. The big concern is that Ten Hag favourites, as soon as the back, come straight back into this team. Now we're hearing that Palestra could be going out on loan, Jay. Ahmad staying. Obviously, we know Sancho's leaving. I mean, are you happy with Palestra going out on loan? Do you feel like we
Adam,
need a few more players?
I'm not. I'm glad you raised Palestri. We got Palestri how many years ago now? It was under Ole.
Ole, yeah.
From if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, was it Atlanta?
No, that was Ahmad that we got from Atlanta.
Apologies.
Yeah.
So Palestri's here, what now? 4 years.
Yeah, going on, mate.
It seems every season he's gone on loan. He's never come on the pitch and stunk the place out. Okay, how to put this? Palestri has never come on the pitch and played as bad as Marcus Rashford or as bad as Scott McTominay. Yet they're picked week in, week out, no matter what. So Palestri, for me, no, don't put him alone. Keep him, play him. Like he deserves a chance. I don't think he's got a fair crack whip so far at the club.
No. I honestly, I said before, I did a show before the game tonight where we were talking about the news of Palestri possibly going. Most of the fan base in the poll were happy for him to go out on loan if he has to, because he's not going to get game time and come back. There is possibly an option for him to go out permanently this January, Jay. So I can understand the frustrations of the fan base. I can understand why people would think he isn't good enough, because I was like what you just said, he's constantly going out on loan. So he's not liked by Ten Hag. We know this. For me, if I was him now, I'd be looking at going to PSV and getting some game time, maybe salvaging his career, because tonight, for the amount of time he got again, I just don't think he's going to get a chat. I think we will kill another career in Facundo Pellistri if he stays at the club. I think he does need to go out on loan personally, and hopefully he proves that he is worth something. And if Ten Hag is here in the summer, or if he isn't, big decisions behind the scenes. There's just too many things to talk about and too many things concerning United fans right now. I think we're just hoping that something happens on the pitch, Jay, because the club is in a mess. It really is, and it's just going to drag on and on and on as long as these inconsistencies are happening on the pitch. But I mean, Jay, there's not much more to talk about, mate. I'm going to wrap up the video there. Hopefully we've got more to talk about in the Spurs game this weekend, my friend. But just want to say, well done for staying up, Jay, and staying awake. Thanks for coming on.
Well, listen, thanks as always. It's a pleasure to be on. And to be honest with you, Adam, that last 20 minutes there, if I didn't come on to the show with you, I was going to bed because I had enough. Being very honest.
Yeah, no, I think there's a few. Ben said he fell asleep a few times in the stream, but yeah, it's definitely not the easiest watch. But at the end of the day, United have got the win. We've done the job. We're into the 4th round to play Eastleigh or Newport, and that's all that can be asked, really. It's a game that no one is going to look back on. It's a game that's just going to go down as possibly the start of, hopefully, an FA Cup run for United. But guys, that is it. There's nothing much else to talk about. Are we doing the play ratings? They'll be up a little bit later, so catch them when you can. Give me your verdicts on them. But that is it for now. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Like, share and subscribe as always, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, guys.